A few years ago, my family and I went on a vacation to the beach. One of my members, Uncle Danny, is on the autism spectrum, and he's also nonverbal, so his only methods of communication are through the noises he makes and the physical gestures he does, which is conducive of his own form of sign language that only his family members really know and understand what he's talking about. This posed a big issue because one of the days he decided to wander out of the condo without telling anyone, and it took us almost an hour to find him. And we were just so worried, he can't verbalize who he is or where he wants to go, and we didn't know where he'd end up. Thankfully, we figured it out. This is a problem that may be on the rise because in 2018, Autism Speaks had posted on their webpage that CDC increases estimate of autism's presence by 15% to 1 in 59 children. This means autism diagnosis is on the rise, so people like you and me might have more experience with those who have autism. It could be like our children, nieces and nephews, neighbors, co-workers, so on and so forth, could be diagnosed with this disorder and disease. And in response to this, I propose that there should be a national law mandating that police officers have some sort of formal education on how to interact with those who have autism. This can be done through social media campaigns and even contacting your local people in charge, so your police precinct and even your state representative. There have been far too many negative incidences regarding those on the spectrum and the police. And education just really needs to take hold of this. For instance, Silberman had posted in 2019 a New York Times article entitled "The Police Need to Understand Autism," in which a boy was left alone at the park for a few minutes. He was engaging in stimming, which is a sort of coping mechanism, and he was playing with a piece of string while coping. And a police officer saw him and thought he was engaging in some kind of drug behavior, and he ended up wrestling him to the ground and injuring him in the process. Well, this could have been avoided if the police officer were educated. It could have also been avoided if the individual with autism could have also been educated on what to expect from the police and other people in general. Not all people on the spectrum are aware that their actions are kind of sometimes different, and people aren't used to that. And they could also be overwhelmed by just the sights and sounds associated with police officers. It can be really scary for them, but hopefully preparing them for what this would entail could put a stop to that, at least a little bit. We really need to make this dream become a reality. We need to spread the word to end the woe, and this could be through social media campaigns. Now, World Autism Awareness Day was April 2nd, but that doesn't mean that all of our posts about it should stop. This is a year-long issue that can happen all the time, so make posts on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, just saying hey, this is an issue, and it should be addressed. And also, through online, you can band together and spread this awareness. Just look at how it's been for COVID-19. I mean, granted, we can't go anywhere else, but there's been a lot of positivity that's come from that. You could also, if you're not feeling very social media-y, you could write a letter to the police precinct or even your state representative, because these people need to be made aware that this issue is very real. And also, they need to be more knowledgeable about the community they're hired to protect and serve. And even that would be including those who deviate from social norms, such as those on the spectrum. Please help everyone become more aware of the condition that's becoming more prevalent in the United States. Just imagine a world with a more inclusive community. Imagine the interaction with that boy and the police officer. The police officer, if he were educated on autism, could have been like, oh yes, this boy has autism. That's why he's engaging in the behaviors he's doing. I should probably help him so that no danger comes to him. I certainly don't want to be the danger by making him upset either. I'll wait until the caregiver comes back just to make sure that he's okay. Also, you could imagine a world where those on the spectrum are educated and more aware on what to expect from police officers. The boy himself, he could have explained to the police officer, "Oh yes, I have autism. I'm stimming. I'm anxious and nervous. This is my coping mechanism." And he also could have been less afraid by everything that the police officer entailed if he were just educated a little more. All in all, there's so much we can do to help. And the police's lack of knowledge can be changed through the program of just providing education, and even for those on the spectrum, education could help them too. The most powerful weapon we have is our voice. Please use it to obtain equality for everyone. Thank you.